Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Tonight, we are playing a one-shot that we have run a few times before. It's entitled The Door Beyond. I get the name wrong every time. It was written by Matt Ryan and Noah Lloyd, and it is from their online collection of one-page scenarios. I've got a link to their site, Reckoning of the Dead, and you can find that in the description below. I will be GMing, and this is version 5. Before we begin, though, we do have a new patron. Max Dull has pledged $5 a month to our club. Thank you so much, Max. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. The tiny little town of Gravesport sits on the northern side of Cape Flattery in Callum County, in the northwest corner of Washington State. The date is October 12th, 1921. Gravesport is a fishing village with a population of only 130 people. Their main commodity is smelt, salmon, and occasionally albacore tuna. Some of the larger industrial fisheries have their eyes on Gravesport, but for now, it remains a remote location. Indeed, there is only one road that leads out of the town, and it often gets washed away during the rainy season. By far the most common way to get there is via boat. There isn't much in the small town, but everyone knows everyone, and they tend to look out for one another. The weather can be incredibly harsh and foggy. Most of the year, the town is shrouded in cool, wet fog that hangs in the air, often past noon. Today is one of those foggy days. Near the center of town is a tackle shop aptly named the Bass Hole, owned and operated by Margaret Bentley, wife of Dirk Bentley, a local fisherman. She has one employee, Bobby McKenzie, who... Is it Bobby McKenzie or Bobby McIntosh?
I think it's McIntosh.
Change that. She has one employee, Bobby McIntosh, who has worked for Margaret since he was 16. He's a good kid. Across the street is a small pub where the locals hang out. Yes, it's prohibition, but nobody in Gravesport, including the sheriff, gives a shit about that. As we begin our tale, Bobby McIntosh is stacking boxes behind the counter in the Bass Hole. He has noticed this morning that Margaret doesn't seem to have it all together. She seems a little distracted. He wonders, did she have a fight with Dirk? Is something missing from the inventory? Something is definitely eating at her this morning. Take it away.
Miss Margaret, is everything the matter? You look a bit distracted.
Oh, you didn't hear Dirk say that he was going to go out fishing yesterday, did you, Bobby? He didn't tell me, and he hasn't come home. I haven't seen him since last night.
Not that I remember. I mean, Dirk and I go out fishing from time to time, so he'd probably tell me. He did promise to teach me how to tie his new knot, so I'm looking forward to that.
He didn't come home yesterday. It's happened before, but it's rare, and we're getting up in age, and I worry, I worry. Maybe Leon's seen him. I don't know. I should. Well, let's finish unpacking all this, and then maybe I can go down the road and ask.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe he got a bit zozzled on the way to home, but yes, ma'am. I'll finish packing.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. You're good. You're a good one, Bobby. Thank you so much.
So you continue with your day. A couple of customers come in and leave, and going on around 10:15 in the morning, and Margaret, you're getting a little more nervous. You see your brother, Dr. Ellis Olson, coming down the street and heading for the shop. Um, and he walks up to the front and steps inside.
Morning, Maggie.
Oh, Ellis, you haven't seen Dirk, have you?
Dirk. Nah.
Good morning there, Doc.
He was
Morning, Bobby.
He was acting a little odd last night, and then he went for a drink at the pub and then didn't come home.
I mean, you shouldn't have married a fisherman. You could have done better.
Oh, Ellis, come on. We've been married all this time. He's not a bad guy. He provides. He's good. This isn't like him.
All right. Well, Maggie, I'll help you. All right. You're my dear sister, and whatever makes you happy, I'll help you get there.
No, thank you.
While
you
you
haven't
guys
seen
are
Leon, have you? Sorry, go
well,
ahead.
while you guys are talking, Leon walks in.
Yeah.
This stupid fucking net. God damn it.
Hi there, Mr. Blake. Problems with the nets again?
I was out with the fleet and my stupid net got fucked up.
This is the fourth one this month.
Yeah, well, the sea ain't been kind to me lately.
You seen Dirk, Leon?
Yeah, have you seen Dirk?
Well, last night I was out drinking with him, at the
The Rusty Pelican,
Rusty
yeah.
Pelican.
Was he acting strangely then?
He seemed like he was in a good mood, but I left around 9 p.m. I was feeling like getting a decent night's sleep.
Yeah, he was in it was a strangely good mood. Like last night at supper, I don't know what. He didn't say anything to you, Leon, about going out fishing or anything.
Not that I remember. I mean, he just seemed like he was in high spirits and a bit of unusually high spirits because the salmon and the albacore ain't been that good recently,
Was his boat tied up at the dock this morning when you went out?
That's a question I have, Tom. That when I was out there this morning, was he out there or was his boat tied?
You didn't see him. And his boat's not tied up right now.
Yeah, Margaret. That's the thing is just, maybe he went on a bender or something, but, I was out there this morning with the fleet before my net fucked up on me, but his boat wasn't tied up. And when I got there and I didn't see him out there, last time I saw him was when I was leaving the Pelican.
I don't know what,
I wasn't thinking much of it before because, you have a few too many drinks and you might miss a fishing day or something. But now you saying that you haven't seen him, that's got me.
I haven't seen him since supper last night. And he goes out fishing at night sometimes, but he usually tells me, and he's always home by morning. And well, God, it's almost lunch and he's not here.
This ain't like him. This is. I hope the sea hasn't claimed it on the man.
Well, look, are any of the others in from the fishing this morning? Maybe we could ask around, see if anyone saw him.
The rest of the fleet should still be out there. We didn't leave that long ago. It's this stupid fucking net.
Leon, do you think you could maybe go out there and look for him?
If you want me to, I could totally do it.
I think I could even close up shop and if you don't mind me coming with you, I'm very concerned. This is not. I'm almost
no.
Did he have too much to drink last night? Was he?
He was doing his usual, a couple of beers, but it wasn't anything that seemed particularly, strange to me. I mean, I'm sorry, I was really tired, but that's all I really.
That's okay.
I can think of at the top of my head.
I appreciate you.
Hearing your information, I will gladly allow you to accompany because I can't let my buddy just be out there drifting around and shit.
I could close up the shop for you, Miss Margaret, and you guys can go. Mr. Blake, if you want to give me your net, I'll have it ready when you come back tomorrow.
By all means.
Come with Bobby. No one comes in here really after breakfast anyway. You sure you don't want to just close up shop and come with?
Yes, ma'am. I'll close up shop and come to the Pelican.
Chances are, if he's out there and he's hurt, you're gonna need me.
Thank you, Ellis. I know you guys haven't gotten along all the time, but I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Dirk's a good egg. He gets a bit saucy from time to time, but he's a good fella.
Okay. That settles it. Let's see if we can go find him.
Okay, so you guys are going to close up the shop. And how do you want to proceed? What do you want to do first?
I'm assuming that Leon would know kind of his regular fishing spots. If he does, maybe we could kind of start there for the most popular places.
Yeah.
I could go back out to the fleet, right?
I mean, you could do whatever you want. At the moment, your nets are shit, so you
Yeah.
can't do any fishing, but you can, drive around.
What about, let's go to the Pelican. Maybe the bartender saw him leave last night. If they're open anyway, I'm assuming
That's a good point. Even if they're not open, I know the guy, and we could stop by his home.
The Pelican is a pub, so it is opening just about now for lunch for people. All right. You guys close up shop and you walk over to the Pelican and step inside. It's a beautiful old, kind of a dark wood interior with that warm sort of rum smell to everything. And the lights are not particularly bright. And there's people, a few people, sitting around doing whatever they do, reading their newspapers or whatever. And the bartender, named John Red, is up there. And he sees you coming on. He says, "You here for lunch, folks?"
Good morning, Mr. Red.
Morning,
How you all
Red.
doing? How you doing, Bobby?
Good, sir. Good.
What can I do for you?
We were wondering if you'd seen Dirk last night.
Yeah, he was here last night.
You seem
What?
different in an odd manner.
Did he do
Different.
anything especially weird past 9 p.m.?
Well, I mean, I've seen him, on his good days and his bad days. I'd say last night was a good day. He seemed kind of, I don't know, interested, excited about something, but he wouldn't say what. Just, I got the impression that he was going to go out, but I mean, he didn't say anything more than that.
What time did he leave? Last night?
Maybe
Do you
about
remember?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
Red, did Dirk go out with anyone, or did he go out alone?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't really paying that close attention. He might have gone out with a couple of the boys.
Okay.
If he was going to go out fishing at night, he might take somebody with him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's dangerous around these parts, especially with the fog at night.
We don't see any of the, the boys here in the pub, do we?
Mhm.
No.
No, I mean, most people this time of day that
Probably
are
be out
here
fishing. Yeah.
are probably, some of the old folks
Right.
from town. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if he took anybody with him or not. Today was a fleet day, so I'd be surprised. Surprised that he was going to go out last night.
Didn't see his boat tied up this morning, and he wasn't out with the fleet.
How were the conditions last night, Leon?
Fairly calm.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it was
Nothing
foggy
bad.
like it usually is, but there's no storms or anything like that. In fact, probably up there in the sky right now, there's no clouds. It's just this damn fog. What's it going on noon, and we still got it. It's not burning off. This time of year.
Such is the life in Gravesport, my man.
Well, if I hear anything or if I see him, I'll tell him you're looking
Please
for him.
do. Thank you.
Keep the scuttlebutt on us, yeah?
I'll pass the word around.
Much appreciated, Red.
All right. So what do you want to do next?
Lads
I've
and
never
lass, want to
done
take
this.
my boat out?
Yes, I think that's what we have to do, Leon. I really appreciate. I know that your day's wages are you're sacrificing that for me, and I appreciate that.
It's worth it for my friend. I've got enough for a rainy day saved up to afford this. It's worth it.
Okay.
So
All
you
right,
step
let's-
outside Everything is cool and wet, foggy. Your visibility is about 30 or 40 feet. You
Not
walk
good.
down the short road. You get to the dock. Of course, the dirt road turns into wooden planks as you get to the dock. And the sound of your feet clanking on the wood is a very familiar sound, and you can hear gulls making their usual noises. And you can see all the fleet. Most of the fleet's gone. Fleet's not huge. Fleet's just, a couple of dozen boats. And the place where the Margaret, which is the name of Dirk's boat, is usually parked, it's nothing there. The only boat that is there right now is Leon's boat, and maybe down at the other end of the dock, there's an old wreck that's been there for a couple of years that nobody's ever fixed up. You get up to where it's moored, and you guys climb on board. You guys all kind of know your way around a boat. Dr. Ellis probably knows the least, but he's not unfamiliar with you. You live in a fishing village, so he's at least somewhat familiar with it. And you now fishing boats in 1920s, early 1920s, they're kind of a combination. You have a sail, but at the same time, you also have a steam engine. So you can use the steam engine to get out there, and you don't do much sailing unless there's wind, and there's not much wind. So people get out there, and then your ship has a couple of big booms where you have the nets, and you can trawl the nets behind you and catch fish. So the ship sort of sputters to life and starts out into the water, and you guys are all holding on. And within just a couple of minutes, you are in that isolated, empty nothingness that's just water and fog. But you've got your navigation. You know where you're going and what you're doing, and you head out into it. Now, you said something about visiting the fleet or visiting his spots that he tends to go to.
So Dirk has taken me fishing for a few times. So
I feel like
I'd be able to point out where the fishing spots are.
with my own my instinct at this point, because I haven't seen him since last night, and I was out on the fleet, that I feel inclined more to check the spots first.
Okay. There are a lot of little, I don't know what you would call them. They probably have a technical name, but little cubbies along the coast, where people park their boats and go fishing. Coves, I guess is what they're called. So you start going in and out of the coves. You have to, you all sort of have to work, well, less the doctor. The doctor's there with Margaret, but Leon, you're driving the boat. And Bobby, you're sort of up on the front end of the boat, keeping an eye out. Maybe Dr. Ellis, you and Margaret are in the back, keeping an eye out, hoping that you hear something, because you're probably more likely to hear a boat, or there's like a bell on the boat that might be ringing if it's rocking in the water. You go in and out of the coves. You work your way out there quite a ways, and nothing seems to be showing up. You do run across a few other fishing boats that are part of the fleet, and they tell you they haven't seen Dirk. Eventually, you're out there for about 2.5 hours, and the fog has still remained fairly thick. That's a little unusual, but it's not unheard of this time of year. Everybody, well, Dr. Ellis, Bobby, and Margaret do listen rolls.
Good luck.
Leon, you can't really hear because you're like right there over.
Oh yeah, I'm right by the steam engine. I've only got that in my ears.
49 over 40. I could spend 9 luck if.
I think Dr. Ellis heard.
Oh, okay.
You hear that?
Hear what?
You hear a bell sort of in the and it's not ringing, it's just occasionally ding, ding. That
Sounds
over
like a bell.
to the
Yeah,
starboard side.
Over the starboard side. I point.
So Leon, you kind of bring it around. You start drifting in that direction, and you don't want to crash because your visibility is not that. So you kind of slow down, and all of a sudden, looming out of the darkness up ahead, you see a fishing boat. And as you get a little closer, you can tell it's the Margaret.
Oh,
And it's just sitting there in the water.
It's the Margaret. It's the Margaret.
that's Dirk's boat.
No Dirk, I'm assuming.
Well, you don't see Dirk, and you
But
don't.
it could be that we just don't see him, like because
He could be below decks.
Could be below. He could be on
Yeah, I
the other
didn't
side
know
of
the
the
size of the boat. Okay.
the steer house.
So shouting, Mr.
But you don't-
Dirk, Mr.
you don't-
Dirk.
Okay, there's no answer, but you don't see the anchor. The anchor is not down.
Oh God.
As you bring the boat around, your boat around his boat, there seems to be some damage. And the damage is done to the railing that goes around the deck. Part of it seems to be smashed. There seems to be a break in the hull itself, not down in the water, but up above. And the place where the anchor normally attaches, that's been kind of wrenched loose, and the chain itself is snapped. It's broken. And as Bobby's yelling, there's no response.
What kind of fish did he serve up?
Does it look like he crashed against something, or more like he like do the damage look like more organic?
Well, as you get closer, do let's see, what kind of roll do you think would
Maybe
Since-
natural world to
or
see if
mechanical or natural world might work?
on
Try to assess the damage.
001.
Mm.
So
Oh,
So
wow.
what you can
okay.
see-
yes, for that roll and nothing else.
Bobby knows his fishing stuff. As you come up, it's kind of odd. It looks as if part of the railing was torn away. Part of it looks like it was literally smashed down flat onto the area. The boards are smashed in places. You can see there's actually an exposed hole going into the lower deck. Fortunately, it's above the water. The chain is snapped off, and there's a lot of the paint on that side has long scrapes in it, as if it like ran up against something or got pushed up against something and scraped.
Mr. Blake, this doesn't look right. What can do this to a ship?
You could think maybe a bigger ship crashed into it, but the bigger ships are in this area.
I don't know. I mean, maybe some company's trying to do some Pinkerton shit and try and usurp us, but I've never seen anything exactly like this.
Like I see scratches and I see smashed down, and there's things pushing the railing in. It's like it's coming from everywhere.
Well, whatever it is, it looks bad. So I'm gonna ready my medic bag, my
Yeah, pull us
doctor's
in
bag, and
closer,
kind of
Leon.
I want to climb aboard. So just to see if anyone's below deck.
So
See
you
if
I
Dirk's
was going
okay.
to doctor, yeah.
You pull up
Um,
broadside to the boat, and you have some like gaffing hooks. You reach out and grab the other boat, and one of you has to, hop across with a rope and tie it to the mooring so that the both boats are now hooked together. Who's going first onto the boat?
I'll go
Quick
first.
question.
Mhm.
I've got some points into sea lore. So, but
Okay.
like seeing all of this and being it unrecognizable, I want to say a quick prayer to whatever sea gods or forces or the sea itself. You know,
Okay.
seeing this, I'm unnerved, and I want to make the sea aware that that's what's going on.
Okay.
But if anyone else, unless anyone is really adamant about going, I'm willing to go first.
You probably hop across to secure it to the boat. Bobby probably is with you. The other two of you step over, and you've secured yourself on the opposite side so that you're on the good side of the boat. You step across the deck, and before you can actually walk around the hold to get to the other side, you can see that there is something on the deck. It looks like algae or something, except that it's yellow. It's kind of this yellowish slime. To you and I, it would look like mustard has been smeared on the deck, and it's all over. It's all over where it was smashed, and it's up and down the deck, and it's going towards the stairs going down into the hold. So let me kind of describe the boat for you. You've got the boat itself, and there's a lower deck. And in the back, you'd go down the boat, you'd go all the way across the lower deck, and there would be the engine room, which is really kind of a hatch in the floor where the engine sits. If you're on the deck, there's also a wheelhouse that comes up. So you go upstairs to a little wheelhouse where you would steer the boat and control the engine. So that's basically the boat itself. So what do you guys want to do? See this slime?
What is that? Have you ever seen anything like that? Or you, Leon, have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing.
Can't say I have. I'm gonna reach down and scoop some out of my finger and give it a good look. I've never seen anything like this.
It has an odd smell. Definitely it smells kind of as like the sea smells. But it's got kind of, I don't know, musty, sort of organic smell, like mushrooms or something like that.
Whatever it was, it either is or was alive, and it's from the sea. But I'm not familiar with whatever the hell this is. Maybe some weird kind of algae. I'm gonna scrape it off my hand, get it back to where it goes on the deck.
You said it leads into the wheelhouse? Or
No,
down below deck?
it doesn't go up into the wheelhouse, but it does go down into the
Down deck. Okay.
deck.
All right, I want to check out the wheelhouse just to see if anyone's unconscious up there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna head up there.
You go up to the wheelhouse. The wheelhouse isn't very large. You've probably seen it in movies. There's just standing room up there mostly. You get up there. Everything seems to be fairly in order. There's the steering wheel, and the mechanical things to do it, and all of the stuff to control the winches and things like that. Nothing really seems out of place.
Yeah, so no signs of struggle.
No signs of struggle.
Yeah,
No.
everything looks okay up here, Maggie, but no Dirk.
There also seems to be plenty of gas still in the boat. I mean, what you'd expect for it being out for a while.
Yeah,
but
she's been adrift for a bit.
Well, if we don't, I'm gonna, walk the upper deck and then move to go down to the lower deck if
Okay.
nothing catches my eye.
Are there nautical lanterns or anything that we could grab to take below deck? Like if it's dark?
Yeah, sure. It's probably got electricity.
Oh, okay.
So
at the very least, I'd imagine at least one of us has a flashlight.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. All right. So, Margaret, you're walking around the deck. Dr. Ellis, you went up to the wheelhouse. Leon and Bobby, what are you doing?
I'll follow Miss Margaret.
Okay. And Leon?
I'd follow them below deck.
Okay. So they sort of do a survey of the ship. It definitely looks like something moved around the deck and left this yellow slime where it went. All right, you get to the stairs going down. Who wants to go down first?
If you lads are fine with me going first, I mean, it's my closest friend down there. But if Margaret, if you want to take the initiative, it's your call.
Yeah,
I know
wanna
the ship
go.
pretty well too, so okay, Miss Margaret can go first.
Feel free, Bobby, if you.
All right, then I'll
All right.
sort of rush forward.
So Bobby, you step down the stairs and you realize there's this yellow slime on the stairs as well. So you have to kind of hold on to keep from slipping. Inside the boat, there is disarray. Things have been smashed. Things have been shoved over to the side. And there is a trail of this yellow slime shit going down the middle of the boat towards where would be the engine room at the back. I say engine room, it's not really a room. It's, it's a hole in the floor where the engine, you can work on it. And as you go farther back, there's a lot more of this stuff. It's almost got, it's an orangey yellow, a very lemon sort of yellow color. Everybody do spot hiddens that's down there. Dr. Ellis, you're upstairs. Are you going to come down?
I'm actually going to look around in the water to see if there's any more of that algae.
Okay. You don't see any, but you do see bits of it going along the side that's smashed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend
So-
3 points to make the spot hidden a regular success.
Okay.
Luckily,
Fail.
I have a 50 in spot hidden, so a 98 is not a fumble.
Okay. Leon, you are working your way towards the back. You want to check and see if the engine is still in working order.
Of course.
How did you do, Bobby?
Bobby failed at 52 over 45.
Okay, so you're kind of with Leon. You want to help and fix. Margaret, you're looking more closely around. Something odd strikes you as you're looking, and you've kind of almost gotten used to the yellow slime that's all over the place. But there are places like where a support post goes into the floor, where the stuff is kind of accumulated, around the bottom of the pole. And you notice that there are little things in the yellow slime. You notice it there, you notice it over by the bunk. And as you look closer, it's almost like you're looking at, if you've ever seen frog eggs,
Mm-hmm.
little tiny clear spheres with little black dots in the middle that are sort of in this. It's like tapioca pudding.
It's very appetizing. Oh, do you all look at this? Look how bizarre.
What? I'm looking at the engine. What's going on?
Look. Well, come here. Look at this. That frog eggs? This isn't a good environment for frogs.
You realize now that everywhere where you see that yellow stuff, here and there in the yellow stuff, you see these eggs, like something was, like fish eggs or something that have been spread around. Leon, as you open up the hatch and look into the engine, you see that it's been damaged.
Now, okay, when it comes down to damage, is it like...
Well, that's the weird thing. It doesn't look like somebody took something and cracked it or hit it or anything. It's almost like there's pieces of the metal have been wrenched back and pulled, something that a human wouldn't be able to do unless you had a crowbar or something.
Okay, so it's like sabotage, but on an inhuman level.
Yeah. And that's also now you got light coming in from outside, because this is where the side of the boat is smashed. It's like something really wanted to fuck the boat up.
I don't know what you're talking about with eggs back there, Margaret, but there's something fucking weird going on back here.
Where's Ellis? Ellis,
Yep.
Ellis, come see.
All right, I'm coming down. And I kind of hold the
Ellis-
handles.
Ellis,
stairs.
do a power roll.
Sure.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Ooh, 62 fail.
Okay. You come down the stairs and you're about halfway to where they are when you kind of realize that you've been walking through all this nasty, slimy, yellow stuff, and the whole germs thing pops into your mind like, oh, shit. You know, who knows what that shit is? And then Margaret shows you the eggs.
Gonna get some alcohol from my bag and just like start washing.
It's just frogs or something, Ellis. Don't.
Frogs? What kind of frogs live in the ocean?
Ocean frogs?
Not damn normal frogs! I yell from the engine room.
Yeah, what is this?
I mean, fish eggs are kind of like that too, right? Like those collection
Yeah,
of
kinda.
little-
Yeah, they
I mean,
are.
do any of you have Natural World?
I have a 40
I'll roll.
in Natural World.
yeah.
You want
Me
to
too,
roll
40.
Tom?
That's-
Sure.
No.
Ooh.
Oh my god. I have rolled 298s in a row. I am changing dice. This is not
32
It doesn't
over
look
40.
like any fish eggs you've ever seen.
good. That ain't fish, lads.
32 over 40. 32 over 40.
Okay. Yeah, you've never seen. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's like it's something that you've heard about, maybe like almost like caviar, because they're little fish eggs. Frog eggs
Ooh,
can actually be pretty big, but
Right.
Do you think we can eat them, Mr. Blake?
I would not recommend that, son.
It's weird.
You know, in all honesty, from when I'm looking at them, they might be edible with my 98, which is a fumble because I only
It's
have 40 in
delicious.
Natural World.
Now, as your town doctor, I recommend highly against that.
Yes,
you ever
sir,
figure out what
mister.
happened to the engine, Leon?
You know, the thing about it is it's been mangled. but
Mangled.
not in a ways that if it looks like someone took a crowbar and just screwed the whole thing up. It's not right.
Leon,
there's
do an idea roll, Leon.
Idea roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
it
hope I don't
seems
get a
like foul
98.
play.
Okay, I'm from 98 to 09.
Okay.
There you go.
It dawns on you as you're looking at the damage. If you wanted to sabotage a boat, you would know exactly what to do. Whatever this was, didn't have a clue what they were doing. They were just randomly trying to tear things apart.
Looking at these more closely, lads, it's whoever did this didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were just trying to cause as much damage as they could conceive. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just an idiot did it.
But we're Stirk.
Are there
That's
any
a
other rooms
very
down
good
here?
question.
No. Okay, it's just this
No.
open space. Okay.
Well, there's definitely some foul play, and
At this point, I would agree, considering looking at what's going on here with this engine.
Dirk and I never saw eye to eye, but he's still family. No one messed with my family.
Nobody messed with Gravesport.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret, do an idea roll.
Some other dice has been more rolling bad. All right, well, let's see. Oh no, that's a regular pass. Okay.
Okay. You suddenly remember that Dirk keeps a log up in the fish, up in the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
What's doing?
The log. He keeps the log. Let's go see. Maybe he wrote something down.
Why would he keep the piece of wood at the? Oh, never mind.
It's his favorite piece of wood.
Only the best.
Sexy.
Lucky. Hard.
I'm going up to the wheel.
All right.
Yeah. I don't want to stay down below deck either. So.
I feel like I'm kind of fascinated.
Yeah, but I would like you all to do kind of a sanity roll. Yeah, do a sanity roll because Dirk's missing.
That makes
There's
sense.
slime.
Yeah,
There's
I
damaged
definitely
boat.
think there's something not right here.
Pass.
Failed.
Nope, failed.
Okay, if you fail, just do a 1d6, but then divide it in half. So
Okay, so it's a 1d3.
it's a 1d3.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
pass.
if you pass,
I
you
got
take one.
I got a 2.
I have 50 sanity to start with for some reason, so I'll go along with that, but I pass.
You know, you're better than me. So
Yeah, I got a 2.
So you're unnerved. You're,
Do you? Sorry. Do you think something could have, like, whoever rammed into him and did all this damage? Do you think maybe they took him? God, I hope. Otherwise, what? They threw him overboard or something? I don't.
This doesn't seem like it was coordinated. If this was planned, I would hope they have boat knowledge, or else a bunch of idiots got in this boat. But it's
To what purpose? I mean, he doesn't carry money or anything valuable on here. They've torn up the boat. They left it. I don't.
no. We fishermen don't really make bank, if you get what I'm meaning.
Let's go look at the log.
Yep.
I would
Do
agree.
you think it might be the big fish companies, like the
It's possible. Maybe they've hired some of those damn Pinkertons.
to scare us off?
If you want an answer to that, the big fish companies will just ultimately buy you out. They wouldn't bother to do anything like this. They will eventually buy you out, probably.
I mean, that's the obvious answer, but in character.
Right. Well, that makes sense. So Margaret, you head on up to the wheelhouse and you grab his logbook. Now, his logbook, it shows entries for the days that he's gone fishing this week and last week and so forth. And he writes down the haul that he's getting out. Yesterday, or rather the day before yesterday, it shows that he went out and he came back and he didn't have any fishing, no fish, which is kind of odd. Leon and Bobby also do idea rolls for me.
Okay.
Um,
That I think is a hard success.
Okay.
That is correct.
Yep. Bobby failed. He's not that bright.
Okay, but you're with Leon. You guys realize there's no fish in the hold. So he didn't do any fishing.
Whatever was going on here, lads, he didn't get any fish before it. I see no salmon or albacore tuna in these holds.
But he was really happy yesterday.
He was in the best of spirits.
Does the location in the log match where the boat is now?
No, the boat's obviously been drifting.
It's drifting.
Do a spot hidden for me, Margaret. This really is determined.
That is a hard success.
Hard success. Okay. So you're flipping through the book, and you realize that towards the back there is a loose piece of torn paper that looks like Dirk has scribbled something on it. It looks like this.
Gonna be
Ooh.
rich. And then a set of coordinates: 48, 32, 24 north, 125, 49, 12 west.
Do we have charts from the wheelhouse that we can see where?
Sure.
I've got a good amount of navigate. Yeah, I've got 70 in navigate. So
Now Margaret's seen this by herself. You guys are still.
She is.
Oh.
She is.
She keeps it to herself. We never know.
No, look at this. Leon, maybe Dirk is still there. I don't know.
Let me look at these fishing maps last.
Even if it's just to find a damn body, at least I'd know.
But how did his boat get here if he's there?
Oh, it drifted.
Well, it don't got that anchor on it.
So Leon, as you look at this, and it becomes, you're kind of confused because the area that it's pointing to, there's nothing out there.
See, this is weird because I don't know why he would go out there with that. Margaret, could you let me see that exact paper?
It's quite a ways out. It's maybe another 100 miles out to sea.
That's really out there. Gonna get. Did you? This seems like nonsense. Like something I'd see out of a storybook. Gonna get rich. Go 100 miles out there. What got into him? Was that what he was happy about at the bar?
Well, maybe old Dirk did find something.
I may have exaggerated that a little bit. Let's say it's about 2 hours from here.
Okay. Still,
I don't know how many
legends?
miles that would be.
Are there any legends, like
but,
Gravesport legends around about that area of the sea, or
Hey, I've got
crazy
35
island?
in sea lore.
Mr. Blake, are there any legends around that part of the sea, or like people getting lost, or like old pirate stories? Maybe pirates.
Tom, can I roll sea lore?
Sure.
Please.
You got it. Why not?
Please.
Fumbles
Dice,
and tells
please.
an entire tale about it.
That's actually a hard success with 17.
Oh, nice.
This area does have some interesting legends, mostly about mermaids, about sea people living at the bottom of the sea, strange creatures seen off in the mist. But those kind of things you find everywhere. Stories of empty ships that have food cooking on the stove and cigarettes lit and no crew. Those legends run around too. But nothing specifically for this area. As far as it's like there's nothing out there. At the most, there could be like a sandbar or something that's not on any charts, but that's not likely. Not out that far.
You've got your usual legends and nonsense about mermaids and sea people, but if you ask me, what it would be is a sandbar anomaly, and I bet a pirate 300 years ago buried his treasure out there.
Wow.
And somehow Dirk found the treasure map.
So Dirk's a pirate now?
Oh my God.
Well,
For heaven's sake, he's missing, and we're talking about mermaids and Bluebeard. Let's get out of here and go, please.
I agree.
Maggie's
I am
right.
just simply presenting the possibilities. Why else would he say these obscure coordinates and say, I'm rich? Come on, there's something out there.
Well, most importantly, he could be hurt, so we better get going.
I definitely agree.
Please. Yes.
Leon, as you're thinking about it, maybe Dirk said something last night about things are going to change for him. Like things are going to change for him and Margaret. Maybe he
know-
meant about being rich. That's what he seemed in such a good mood. He wouldn't say anything about it, though. Now, question. What do you do with Dirks, with the Margaret?
Well,
If you tried to keep it attached to you, it
I feel like
would
it's not going to work,
take
right?
twice as
Yeah.
long.
It's gonna take us
to get
a long
anywhere.
time.
Engine's busted anyway.
However, you do know kind of where it is.
We can drift
But
up
it doesn't
pretty
have its
far
anchor,
away,
so it's
though.
got potential
Yeah.
to drift.
It'll
right?
eventually drift into one of those coves along the coast and
Okay, so
probably run
if,
aground. But
if
We'll have
we
rest of the
know-
rest of the townies come out and search for it, but Dirk's more important right now.
do we don't have any means of communication to the mainland, do we?
I don't
We
think
probably have a radio.
radios. I'm not
They,
sure
they
that
have
radios.
radios and boats.
You know, I know there's such a thing as like radiograms, but I don't think my ship has that.
I don't know. It might be that you do have radio, but I don't know that it works this far out. You guys have been out for a couple of hours. All right. So you're gonna head for the coordinates.
I feel like that's the
Yes.
wisest decision
All right.
because this ship is already kind of screwed up. It's and Dirk's more important.
Do
I
we
think
see
we're
any
all
of
in
the
consensus.
eggs getting or onto our boat? Like, because we're parked sort of next to it. Nothing like
Nothing-
got contaminated, right?
No, you're actually parked on the other side. So
Okay.
there's no there. What you some of you were not particularly careful. Actually, none of you were particularly careful. In fact, Leon played with the stuff. So, but no, you haven't physically brought any of it onto your boat.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna die, aren't I?
We all die sometime, Mr. Blake.
That's true.
Anyway, all right. So you start heading towards the coordinates, and it's going to take another couple of hours. Now, you started out right about noon, so it's probably going to be late afternoon when you get to the coordinates. I mean, you guys aren't afraid of the dark, and I mean that sort of thing doesn't bother you, so whatever. But it'll be dark at probably 6 or 7 this time of year. As you're traveling, oddly enough, the fog doesn't let up. In fact, it kind of gets thicker as you go, which is kind of weird for the afternoon. Leon, you start to get apprehensive. If there was something out at those coordinates, you certainly don't want to run into it. So you're kind of taking it cautiously, and Bobby and Margaret are keeping their eyes out ahead to see if they can see anything. Something in the air changes as you're going, something subtle, but something that reminds you as if you were getting closer to shore. Just that sort of the way the sound bounces off of things up ahead of you. It's weird in the fog because it's much stronger in the fog. You think you start to hear the sound of seabirds, which would also be another indicator that you might be approaching solid ground, but there shouldn't be any solid ground out in this area. And then the next thing that hits you is a smell. And it smells, now I don't know that you would call it a pleasant smell, but you are fishermen, so you're used to it. But it's definitely the smell of dead fish, seaweed on the shore. It sort of drifts in your direction. And then suddenly, out of the fog ahead of you, a black sort of shadow looms up, and you think that you're going to possibly hit something ahead. So you slow the boat down, but there's nothing there except the shadow, and you start creeping forward and creeping forward and creeping forward, and gradually out of the fog, there is a rocky shore. It seems almost composed of black, slimy rocks. There's no shore, like there's no sand. And you can see that things are covered in seaweed, and you could definitely hear the sound of seabirds, possibly eating dead fish. It smells a lot like dead fish too. And as you come up to it, you realize that the only way you could actually get onto this thing, because it comes right up out of the water, is you'd have to find a place where you could climb out, and you'd actually be kind of climbing up out of your boat unless you can find a place where you can park your boat. So you start circling it. And that's when you realize that it's much, much bigger than what you'd expected. You thought maybe it was a big jutting rock, but it's got a shoreline that seems to be going on and on. It's gently curving. You're sure it must be an island, but you don't find any good place to park your boat. Everybody do spot hidden rolls.
All right, let's hope we channel that 09 to the 98.
Ooh, 18.
Okay.
I got a
regular. I got a
Yeah.
regular pass.
So got a hard.
Okay. Those of you who are looking for a place, those of you who passed, you suddenly notice a place where there is a piece of chain which is dangling off a rock. And you realize that it's the other end of Dirk's anchor.
Look. It's the anchor from the Margaret.
You can also see that on the black rocks, there are white scrapings of the paint from the side of his boat. And you think that this could be a spot where you could get off. It wouldn't be easy. You'd have to climb up out of the boat. If you had a ladder, it would be way easier. But
Can I jump on with a rope and like tie something for the rest of the people to get off easier?
you can.
You want to?
I mean,
You
can
want to talk
try.
about knot tying? I'm an expert on that.
I'm better at jumping. You're old, Mr. Blake.
What you're going to have to
Fair
do
enough.
more is you're going to have to attempt. Imagine, if you will, here's the deck, and you're standing on the deck, and the rock face is like this. So
It's like
you're going to
straight,
come right up next to it, and then try to climb up onto
straight
the,
parallel.
and it's rocky and craggly and sharp looking. Did you want to make an attempt to climb up?
I could tie a rope around myself and then climb up. So if I get high enough,
Yeah.
then, I could
If
help.
it-
I mean, the
If
worst
it-
thing is you're going to fall. If you fell, you would land on the deck.
If in
If they're
any way,
beneath
shape,
me-
or form the knot could prevent a negative, I'm willing to tie some kind of knot to make sure it's secure.
And I'll boost you up, son.
Thank you,
Okay. Mr.
Mr. Ellis. Thank you, Mr. Blake. I will climb. Anything for Dirk.
With the boost, that actually helps a lot. You've dropped anchor so that you can keep the boat in one spot. Bobby, do a climb roll, but do it with a. I guess you can do. Excuse me. Do a jump roll, but you can do it with a bonus.
Okay. My jump is 60. That's why I suggested that. But we'll see how that goes. Okay. I got 57 on the first roll. Let's see.
Okay, so you've passed.
Right. Yeah.
You just want to
So-
see if you've passed spectacularly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how I do. All right. So the 57 becomes 007.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
So I'm like Mario.
Yeah.
he just
So you're like-
backflips
It's
up
like,
there.
Leap up there. You're doing parkour. You grab
Right.
that rock and
It's like
flip yourself up.
parkour. I'm up.
Once you're up, you see that what you're standing on is a small island And it definitely moves away from the shore and then goes up, like maybe like an old volcanic island or something. The most of the rock is black. There is a lot of slimy seaweed all over it and a lot of dead fish, and thus a lot of seabirds that are eating the dead fish. You secure a rope, and I'd say without much trouble and a helping hand, you can help everybody get up onto the thing. So let's have those of you who are still climbing up just roll, and we'll see if you fumble, you fall back.
Climb.
Just roll, and if you get a 99, then you fall back.
That's an 05, so I'm
Okay.
good.
Oh, good thing it's 99 because I rolled a 74.
Oh yeah, that's fine. So you guys get up on top, and you look around, and the fog is almost like a miasma. It's sort of swirling a little, and it's the sunlight, since the sun is getting lower in the sky, has kind of turned it all kind of a hazy yellow as you're looking. You can't see particularly far. There's no plant life other than the dead plants, and the smell of dead fish is pretty strong.
Is there any
Mr.
sign?
Blake, why would there be dead fish so far up here?
Yeah, they're all over the ground.
Is there any kind of roll, Tom, that I could do to assess that kind of concept of why there's so many dead fish?
Like a rising seabed, whatever, right?
You can do your occult,
Occult?
or your
Okay.
I'm not sure, or your sea lore.
Sea lore. I'll just double check what I actually have higher occult than sea lore. Let's see
Either
if
one.
Well, regardless of what it is, I rolled an 82. So
Okay.
nope.
So you are convinced this is one of the legendary floating islands that just popped up, and that must explain why there's dead
Bobby,
fish everywhere.
what this is, I've heard many
What?
stories from the sea of these ideas,
Yeah, Mr. Blake?
these islands that just rise up when the gods give it an idea. This island rose up and all these fish just got propellered.
Is this where the pirate hid their treasure?
Yes, it must be. Why else would there go here? The pirate treasure must be here.
The gods are working with the pirates.
Quite
to hide their
possibly.
treasure.
Quite possibly, lad.
Wow.
We're on the right track. We're going to be rich.
I have in the 40. That's my excuse.
Looking for signs of Dirk.
Mine's not better.
If you two are quite finished, I'm sure Dirk is somewhere around here, and the boat just drifted away while he was up here.
Poppycock.
Yeah. How long did it take for us to get here?
About
Like an
2
hour.
hours.
That
An hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there.
Miss Margaret, that's a long way for a boat to drift.
Well, all I can do is look for Dirk, and that's what I'm going to do.
And I'll do everything I can to help you, Mom. I mean, Miss Margaret.
Is there any sign of that egg-filled yellow algae up here?
Not where you are. You don't see
Okay.
anything like that. Looking out over the landscape, it's hard to see very far, not only because of the fog, because there's a lot of craggly rocks. It's not a flat surface. You have to kind of be careful making your way around. There's also, you do notice that there are places on the rock where there are barnacles and things that you would expect to be under the sea. So you know from experience you need to be careful so you don't cut yourself, because they're razor sharp, some of them. All right, are you going to do a little exploring? All right.
Yes.
You start moving around, and you realize there's kind of a natural slope going up as you're going. You can't really guesstimate how big the island is, but it might be as much as, half a mile around, with a mountainous sort of thing in the middle of it. You start making your way forward, and I would like you to do a spot hidden roll.
Ooh, 38 over 40.
I got a
Actually,
heart.
over 45. Yeah.
I failed.
So as I'm doing that, I'm going to ask Doc Ellis, do you have anything in case we do cut ourselves? These are pretty sharp.
Oh yeah, yes, son. I've got bandages. I've got morphine if it's really bad. You know, alcohol.
How did you, Doc Ellis? Did you get a heart?
I got a heart.
You got a heart. All right. And Leon, did you see anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even think I was.
Spot hidden.
I just got a 007 on, I think, what is
Okay.
a 50.
Nice.
So, Dr. Ellis, you're not really in the front of the group. Margaret, I think, is most worried, so she's looking around. She's probably calling out as well.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Ellis, up ahead, a little to the side, and you see the glint of something gold, metallic gold, and it's small and it's on the ground, but it's right at the edge of the fog. Leon, you're a little worried about the strangeness of this island, and you keep looking back towards the boat, and you can only see the masts sticking up because there's a cliff. You think you see something yellow near a rock towards the boat, and you got a really good, something is moving, like something is in between those rocks, and it's just sort of occasionally rearing up, but it looks bright yellow.
Is that a sanity roll?
Well, you don't know what it is yet, so not yet. It looks almost like, a piece of safety gear or a pontoon or something that's kind of stuck in the rock, except that you're sure it's moving.
Lads and lass, there's look at that. There's something is moving.
If he points it out to you, and he's got to kind of give you one of those things. You see the sharp rock there that sort of looks like a fork, and then right there's something there. Whatever it is seems to sort of come up over a rock. It looks like a big sea slug.
Are there rocks around that I could pick up and be ready to throw at it?
Sure.
Okay. Pick up a rock just in case.
It's quite a ways away from you, and you've seen, weird things in the water before. There are sea slugs there's one called a sea boot that's almost this big, but this looks much bigger, like maybe 3 feet long and maybe 1.5 feet thick. And it's moving very slowly, like a slug, over the rocks.
And it's bright yellow or orange or whatever.
It's bright yellow, and as you look at it, it's almost banana yellow with black dots on it, like a slug. Or
it might be poisonous too, because didn't you tell me, Mr. Blake, that things aren't colorful unless they're not afraid of being eaten?
I would agree. Those yellows are warning color, lad. Well, they're not around here, but you ever heard of the coral snake?
No, sir. What's that?
Not a good thing you want to deal with.
Can we eat it?
Never mind the coral snake. I think I found what Dirk was looking for. I point towards the gold.
Speaking of eating, Blake, you find that you are quite thirsty. You haven't drank anything today, but you don't feel like alcohol. You feel like water. And Bobby, you also you feel like you've gone too long without drinking water. Dr. Ellis, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
All right. So I think I found what Dirk was looking for. And I point towards the gold I saw through this thick fog.
Well, let's go have a look. Maybe we'll find a sign of Dirk there too.
Yeah, never mind no slugs.
Dr. Ellis and Margaret, as you guys walk in that direction, who is walking first?
As soon as he pointed it out, I was walking.
You were gone. You were on your way.
All right.
All right.
I'm chasing after her.
So what you see, Ellis, Dr. Ellis, is this. You see Margaret walking forward on the rocks. Of course, you guys are being careful not to trip and fall. She sort of moves up and over a rock, and she suddenly gasps, not so much in terror, but in just a general gasp. And as you take another step forward, what you see is Dirk lying on the ground. He is obviously dead. He's laying on his back with his hand sort of out like this. And laying next to his hand is this.
Oh dear.
It's about a foot long, and it looks like it's made out of solid gold.
So I'm going to run up to Dirk and go, Mr. Dirk, Mr. Dirk.
He is obviously dead. He seems to be desiccated, as if he's dried out. And Dr. Olson, you can do a medical roll.
Okay.
My God.
So that is a 63 out of 70 success.
Yeah, his skin has almost turned leathery. His musculature has pulled in, and there's a strange yellowish slime around his face with little black dots growing on his skin. Margaret and Dr. Ellis and everybody else, when you come running up, you can do sanity rolls.
Of course.
I figured.
Pass.
Pass.
Pass. Apparently,
You don't have to
my
hardy.
husband's death.
You're hardy.
You know who failed?
Doc, did you fail?
I succeeded.
Oh, you
I
succeeded. You
failed.
all succeeded.
Yeah.
Succeeded.
I never liked them.
No, I
Yeah,
failed.
that's
You
the guy
failed.
with 6 points
I had
left
an
failed.
88 out of 38.
All right. So those of you who passed, do a 1d4, and Leon, do a 1d6.
All right, guys. If I roll a 6, I'm indefinitely insane. Let's hope we get that, eh?
Ooh, I lost 4.
Okay, I dropped the die. It landed on a 6. Holy shit.
Did it land on a 6? Then do a
It did. It
do
dropped
an
on the ground.
intelligence roll for me.
Oh,
Intelligence
boy.
roll, Leon.
Better not rest us so early.
Oh, the fates are with me tonight, lads. Of course, I roll another 9.
Okay.
Out of madness.
Yeah, do a
Witness,
1d8.
witness.
Do 1d8 for me.
Do a what?
1d8.
1d8? Okay. 3.
Oh,
Okay.
That's not a good sign.
do a 1d4.
Uh-oh. Oh, where's my D4? I don't know what my D4 is. That's not good. I apologize.
Actually, that makes total sense.
I 4.
4. You know what? You did exactly what I would have done anyway. So you look at Dirk. You see that he's all dried up. You see that he's got this yellow shit on his face, and he's got little eggs growing. And you see the giant slug thing over there, and you become hysterical that you are infected with whatever it is.
Whatever. I sifted. I'm gone.
Easy there, Leon.
Miss Margaret?
I'm on the ground rolling around, just laughing and rambling about, I sniffed it. Slugs.
Can I try to sedate him?
Should we do anything, Mr. Olson?
Yeah, can I try to sedate him with
Yeah, you can try to sedate him. What would you
I can.
like?
I'll try and help hold him down.
Easy. Hold him down.
I feel like I'm in an insane state that I would try to resist. What can I roll against whatever?
You actually have no control over yourself.
Okay, fair enough.
So brawl or
and
strength?
specific. Well, yeah, brawl is grapple. So
Right.
you're trying to grapple him. Dr. Olson and Bobby, you guys are trying to sort of restrain him. You guys can roll grapple.
I stepped the slug.
61 over 60. I'll spend 1 luck to make that a pass.
There's a slug in my nose.
Oh no, I fumbled.
Oh, you end up grappling me. I'm like, stop it, Doc. I'm the wrong guy.
Doc Olson isn't actually built for restraining people, but Bobby's strong and young, so Bobby, you're managing to restrain him.
Mr. Blake.
He's babbling about being infected with
Maggie, grab the mild tranquilizer.
Stab the right arm.
So that is going to last for just 3 rounds. So
what, like a minute?
About 3 minutes before you kind of yourself.
The slugs.
There, are you?
The slugs. Tom, note that now I'm at my threshold, so even if I lose 1 sanity, I'm gonna go wacko again.
Okay.
Bobby, this is why you don't buy into the crazy stories, okay? Keep your head on your shoulders.
Those pirates.
And don't go drinking late at the pub with the boys, because these old sea dogs.
Hey, I went back
no
early.
alcohol
There's pirates out here. They've buried something. I
Blood
swear.
pirates.
Look, Ellis, let's. God. I want to look. I'm looking at Dirk's body. Just if there's anything, what could have caused this, Ellis? Do you think he ate those things or something, and this did this to him?
Quite possibly. He looks all dried up, but the sun hasn't been out, and it's been foggy all day. So,
slugs.
And Leon, you were very thirsty.
Damn it.
Leon, you were very thirsty. Yeah.
God, anybody got water?
Bobby, you're a little thirsty too.
Do we have any water, Miss Margaret?
Surely we left with some fresh drinking water.
Might have been on the boat.
I'm heading back to the boat.
Yeah, it would have to be on the boat. Yeah.
I got
Leon, do a spot hidden for me, Leon.
Beautiful. Come on, die. Okay, the die have given me a grant of an 18 and a 50. I think that's just a hard pass.
Okay. Leon, you were very thirsty. You let me go get some water. And you take a few steps and you go maybe 20 feet from where they're standing back towards the boat. And you realize there are at least 3 of those large slugs between you and the boat. And they are slowly moving towards you. And they are a lot bigger than you thought they were.
How big?
Like 4 or 5 feet long, maybe 2 or 3 feet thick, and they're moving very slowly, but they're definitely moving towards you guys.
The slugs, they're a lot bigger than they
For God's
should
sake,
be.
Ellis, let's get Dirk onto the boat. We could take him home for a proper. I don't.
What about
Careful
that?
around the mouth, though.
Those
What about
slugs,
They're
coming for me.
Bobby, grab that gold. Bobby, grab that gold. I don't know what that is. Grab that.
I'll get a shirt or a piece of cloth or whatever, so I'm not touching it. And
Yeah.
I'm
Leon,
running
we're
away.
going home. Come on, we're going
I'll
home.
wrap my
Those
hand.
slugs,
Well,
they're
come on,
gonna
Mr.
suck the
Blake. We'll
moisture out
get
of me.
water. We'll get
I'm
water
gonna be
back
like
in the boat.
Dirk.
Bobby, do a power roll.
All right. All right, so that is 67 over, come on, Bobby, 60. I'll spend 7 luck to pass, and I'm down to 62 luck.
No, you're not going to spend
Okay.
any.
Okay.
You reach down and you wrap something around this thing, and it's very heavy, which means that you know that it's probably solid gold. It's probably worth a fortune. But something in your mind tells you that there's more, and that it's farther up. It's farther up towards the center of the island, and you have kind of a compulsion. You're probably never going to come back here, so you really want to see what it is. The rest of you, as you guys are, Leon's trying to keep himself together, and Dr. Ellis and Margaret, you're looking at the body and trying to figure out how you're going to transport it. You see Bobby pick that thing up, and he wraps the cloth around it and he holds it like this to his chest, and he just starts walking away from you up the mountain.
Bobby, what's gone into you?
I can find more, Miss Margaret. Then we don't have to worry about the big fish company. With enough gold, you won't have to worry again.
Oh my God. What is going on with everyone
you'll be okay.
today? Good.
He found the pirate gold.
My precious.
Kind of, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want him to hurt himself, so I'm going to go after him.
I'll stay with Leon.
Yep.
Come on, Mr.
Actually,
Olsen,
I'll
there's
leave
more
my
gold.
bag with Dirk's body.
Okay. So, Bobby, as you are walking forward, you're sure there's something up ahead. Dr. Ellis, you're kind of scrambling over the rocks. Bobby seems to be navigating them very well. You are trying to catch up. And as you are sort of coming up and over a little rocky ridge, and there's the cliffs up ahead of you of where the higher part, you can see that there is a door that is carved into the side of the cliff. It's a very oddly shaped door, and it also looks like it is made out of solid gold.
Over here, Mr. Olsen.
Now, son, there's things in this world that you don't want to mess with. This looks like one of them.
In the door. There's more. Miss Margaret wouldn't need to worry again if we find enough gold.
We should get out of here. Miss Margaret is in danger.
Margaret and
But
Leon,
we'll
you
never
can
be
still
back.
sort of hear them, up there arguing.
Gold.
Mr. Blake, there's gold here.
I'm running towards that.
I'm running after him.
Like I say, as you sort of clear this little ridge, you're looking, and up ahead of you there is this door, and it's odd. It's maybe 20 feet across and 20 feet high, sort of circular, but kind of an odd oblong shape. It has a quality to it. There's carvings all over it, but you're still a little ways away from it. The shape of it, it's kind of one of those things where you look at it and you think, well, it's a circle. And then you sort of shift a little to the sides and you go, no, it's kind of an egg shape. It's a little different. And you keep, as you're moving towards, you keep looking at it thinking, if I just get at the right angle, it'll make more sense. But it keeps frustrating you as you're getting closer to it. You can see that there are carvings on it as you come up, and the carvings are of strange sort of fish frog people and tentacled monstrosities and things like that. And they also have this sort of quality where they look sort of like it's like a bas relief. It almost looks three-dimensional when you look at it, but when you shift your position, you can almost make the creatures dance. It's an optical illusion, but it's a remarkable optical illusion. Bobby, do a power roll.
And while I'm doing that, is there like a place I could put the key in or anything? Ooh, 72 over 60.
Okay. So once again, you failed it. You walk forward to the door, and you sort of have the key in your hand, and you're sort of looking around for a keyhole, and you realize that something here, if you get at the right angle, the little dancing fish frogs sort of move to the side, and there's definitely a hole there that looks vaguely like the shape of the end of your key. What do the rest of you do? You see him doing this.
So we've all caught up, like
Yeah.
Blake and I.
I've seen
I'd say
this.
also you guys can do a sanity roll because something's really weird.
Wow, okay. It's not going well for me, but I mean, I see a gate of gold. My natural
Pass.
instinct is to
Extreme.
go for it. But
if the door alone would get you millions of dollars.
I passed somehow, but if I lose even one more point, it's about.
I passed, but I lost my POW too, so I probably should lose a bit.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? That's the point. I know that Bobby's poised to put the key in.
I mean, I'm
looks like
indefinitely
bad news.
insane, so I feel like my instinct is just running towards him and like yes.
You're not
It's
that
got
insane
pirate
yet,
gold
so-
squid.
I'm gonna try and stop Bobby by grabbing onto him, yanking him back.
Okay.
And I'm
I-
calling out, stop.
Yeah, we need to
What
get
are
off
you
this island with
doing?
Dirk.
Dr. Ellis, do a grapple. You're trying to grapple him.
Do I need to roll counter or?
You can try to
Dodge
either
or fight
dodge.
back.
Yeah. You don't really want to fight.
I won't
back.
fight
Yeah.
back. I'm just gonna try to not let him, grab me.
Can I spend luck?
On a fight.
I got 17 out of 60, so probably shouldn't.
Nah,
I mean, unless he can afford
You're-
to look for an extreme.
You're trying to grab a hold of him, and he's pulling away from you.
But I'm just like, no, I have to do this.
Margaret,
If-
Leon, did you want to try something?
help me.
I mean,
I'm running to
did I?
help Ellis.
Okay, so my
Okay.
question is in that I get up and I can see this golden door, right? And
Uh-huh.
I see him trying to open it.
You see him about to shove the key into the hole.
Yeah, well, I'm indefinitely insane, so my instinct is yes,
Okay.
open it. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just hands to my temples, grinning.
Okay.
I'm running to tackle him if I can make it before he
Okay.
does all that. So
You're going to try to tackle him. Go ahead and try to use a brawl. Bobby,
Brawl.
you can try to dodge
All right.
that as well.
Well, I won't try to hurt Miss Margaret.
Right, you don't want to hurt anybody. You're just trying to
Right.
grapple. You're not fighting. You're
Is
struggling.
there-
25 over 60.
regular
Is there-
success. So
Is there a penalty die if you try and dodge more than one time in one round?
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
really.
yeah.
Outnumbered, yeah.
Different people. He's pulling away.
Yeah, I was
It's
like,
okay.
so I got a heart.
I just had a regular. So.
Okay. So Bobby manages to push out of
I'm
the
like,
way.
Miss
and
Margaret,
he looks at both Dr. Ellis and Margaret with a look of why are you stopping me? As he shoves the key into the hole.
It's time to go home. We need to get Dirk's body and leave. Something is weird about this place. Bobby, come on. And I'm grabbing him to drag him away.
Yes,
come on,
ma'am.
come on.
Sooner we're off this island, the better.
You're just pulling me along.
Bobby is grabbing a hold of the end of that key, and he turns it, and there is a huge clank sound, and it almost sounds like gears turning somewhere. Clink, 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 like this. And the door begins to move upward. It's opening like this, like open sesame. As it opens, there is something odd. The air itself that hits your face has no smell at all. It's completely, it's odd. It's refreshing as it blows the fish stench that's all around you away. The hole opens, and the tunnel is kind of the same shape as the door, but it's perfectly smooth, and it seems to be descending at a slight angle, maybe 5 or 10 degrees. Certainly something you could walk down without any difficulty. Everybody do spot hiddens.
All right.
Does it look smooth like someone built it or like something burrowed
Ooh,
through?
It looks.
I got exactly an extreme.
Yeah.
Pass.
Nice.
32.
Those of you who pass happen to notice that there are more of those slugs on the island moving in your direction. You have been moving faster than they do, but by now they're almost to where Dirk was.
If whatever direction like the slugs are approaching us, I am moving as fast as I can away from them.
Okay.
I'm
Wait,
not
they're slowly
about that
crawling up on
life.
us.
Bobby, to answer your question, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You look at the walls, you touch the walls. You can't think of any process for creating this kind of a tunnel other than melting it into the rock, because there are no seams, there are no blocks. It's perfectly smooth. In fact, you can't even feel any, it's almost got to feel like mother of pearl. Like maybe
So
it's
I wouldn't imagine a
grown.
giant slug burrowing through it or anything.
Right. Even that you would think would leave some sort of
Right,
trail
okay.
through it. You realize that you've probably got about 20 minutes before those slugs actually converge on the place where you are. The tunnel is dark, but you guys have sources of light, and you can't see how far it goes. It seems to go in and curve slightly, almost in an organic manner. And Leon, you said you're running right in, correct?
Yeah. So the thing is that I'm definitely insane, so I'm acting kind of irrationally, and like from how I'm imagining I'm processing these slugs it's basically just like demons. I need to get as far away of these things as I can. I'm out of here. Like I am just going whatever the opposite away from it is.
All right. So you go into the tunnel. We'll say that you still have a source of light.
Okay.
There is almost a rainbow sheen to the walls as you go on. It's funny. You imagine almost as if you're descending into a seashell, a huge seashell, as you're going. I would like you to do a luck roll.
Luck.
Yeah.
Tasty. That might be a pass. Let me just do. That is a 45 out of 50 success.
Okay. Almost the same. Okay.
Almost.
So you go running forward, and you have no sense of danger except from those slugs. You seem to be, you're imagining yourself in some sort of gigantic conch shell, and you run forward, and just in the nick of time, you stop yourself from going forward where the tunnel drops off into nothingness. And there's a huge lightless chamber ahead of you that you would have plummeted had you gone forward. What are the rest of you guys doing? Did
Oh
you
my
follow
God.
Leon as he ran in?
Am I so
No.
compelled, Tom, to continue, or
You no longer feel compelled.
All right, Bobby. Enough fun and games. We should get back to Gravesport.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the slugs and Dirk's body. So I'm going to go back there and try to at least
but what about
shield
Mr.
it
Blake?
before taking care of Leon.
Blake's an adult, unlike you. So
We will come back for him, Bobby. He'll be fine. We'll come back for him. Let me at least wrap up Dirk's body and then we'll come back and take care of Blake.
well, yeah, let's at least get it onto the boat.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to go with him, go. But I need to do
Oh,
this.
that is irresponsible. Bobby should stay with us.
I'm sorry.
Leon, what are you going to say anything, or are you just standing there quietly?
Okay, so my question is like compared to where I was, like at the entrance to this cave, so to say,
Right.
compared to where I am now, like what is that like? Like if I yelled, like am I like what, like 100 feet away or 300 or like if I say
Probably-
something, do people hear me?
Probably only about 100 feet away. So 100 feet, and you're in a tunnel, and it's smooth, and you're just
it
kind of
echoes.
around.
Okay. Now my next question is from where I am, there's a drop off.
Correct.
But like, is there any way to go deeper?
As far as you know, it's perfectly smooth. So if you just took another step forward, you'd probably slide off the edge. It's not a sharp edge. It's a,
Okay,
just
so
sort of
like,
opens.
I mean, this sounds like a metagamey question, but like the kind of like edge you go down and you go splat, or the edge you go down and it's like a slide.
You don't know. It's pitch black.
Fair enough. At this point, I'm definitely insane. I'm going down.
Okay. So you're going to take a step forward.
Yep.
Do another luck roll.
All right, boys. Ooh, hard success.
Okay. You take a step forward, and you lose your footing. You start sliding, and the second you do, you yell out in fright. So you guys hear him suddenly go, "Ah!" like this from down the tunnel. What do you guys do when you hear him yell?
I hear
Miss
him yell. I'm
Margaret?
going to go run to help him.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
he's
go
in
help
trouble.
him.
Okay.
The living before the dead. Let's go.
I'll follow Miss Margaret.
All right. So you guys go down this tunnel, same as him, and you get to the end of this precipice where it's dark ahead of you. And you imagine, of course, that he must have fallen. There's no other place for him to go. Leon, you, in fact, fall quite a ways, almost 50 feet, which would normally kill you, except that the ground does slope as you go. So you're kind of scooped on a slide, and you slide forward, and your feet hit something hard. You think the other wall. And as they come to the tunnel entrance with their flashlights, you can see them up above you. Looks like they're 100 feet or so away from you. You're in the dark, but you're up against something large, smooth, and curved. It has the same sort of feel as the walls, but you can feel a thumping, like a heartbeat. You can feel it in the ground, and you can feel it in your hands when you're touching it. The rest of you can't see what happened to Leon, but you think you can hear him down there.
Can I call out and say something?
Yes, you can.
I found the heart of the pirate's treasure. It's here. It's here. I can feel it.
As you guys kind of try to shine your light forward, you can see that you're kind of guesstimating in the dark, but you think this room is spherical. It's large. very large, in fact, round, football field sized. And in the center of it, there seems to be something setting, also spherical and fairly large. And you can faintly hear almost what sounds like a heartbeat, a thump, thump, thump. But it's almost like you're not hearing it. You can feel that sort of internal thump. And you can hear Leon down there. He's obviously slid off. You don't see any place where you can attach a rope or anything like that.
Completely safe. Just trust me.
This spherical object, does it look biological or like metal or?
It's hard to tell. The walls in here seem to be shell-like, so it has a similar thing to it. Leon, as you're sort of moving around it, do a power roll.
All right, that's not going to go well. Asking, you shall receive 79 out of 40.
Okay.
Fail.
You feel drawn to it. It's almost as if there's something inside that needs your energy, if you will, your life energy. You can feel, I mean, you always believed you had a soul, and you're almost sure there's a God. I mean, you've prayed to him enough when you were, in a hurricane in the sea, and and this has some connection to that God. And as you're standing there, you can feel your mind and your, what you would call your soul, your inner feelings sort of moving, becoming sort of fluid and moving out of you like smoke from a fire. And you are merging with this thing. And you know now that it's alive. You know now that it's taking from you what it needs.
I will say, I don't know if this matters in the end, but I am going to give no resistance given what I'm feeling. It's all right. I am embracing this.
Then as your mind drifts forward and your body crumples to the ground, there's a light that comes on inside your mind, and you suddenly are transformed. And we'll get back to you in a moment. The rest of you hear Leon down there suddenly sort of call out almost almost ecstatically, like someone having an orgasm. And then there is a boom like that. And this thing in the center of the room lights up. It becomes almost luminous. It's got kind of a blue-green sheen to it. And in that moment, you realize that it is an egg of some sort, a gigantic 50-foot high egg thing, and that it suddenly is alive and going to hatch very shortly. What do you guys do?
We need to make a sanity check for that.
Yeah, you can do a sanity check. Yeah.
I'm functionally dead, right?
Ooh,
you're gone.
I'm good.
Yes, you are.
Good.
All right. So you guys passed?
Yes.
46 over 45 just failed.
Okay. You can use luck if you want to pass that.
All right. I'm going to spend my one luck to pass.
All right. So you guys are all in control of yourselves. You're going to take a couple of points of damage, but of sanity damage, but you guys are in your right minds. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot it.
I'm going to use the rock I picked up and throw it at Leon.
I'm going to run.
I'm a body. I mean, maybe they can't see me properly at this point, so maybe they think I just fall on the ground. But I'm like a limp body, right?
I think you're laying on your back on the ground with your hands like this.
Yeah, ragdolled.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot the egg thing.
All right, Margaret, you pull out your gun, fire at the egg. Bobby, what were you going to do? Throw a rock at Leon?
Yeah, that rock I picked up like an hour ago. I'm gonna at Leon.
All right. Your rock hits Leon. Obviously, nothing happens. Dr. Ellis, you turn around and run. Margaret, you fire the gun. I would like the three of you to do Constitution rolls because the sound of the gun going off echoes and it's incredibly loud. And
02.
06.
We're
so
sturdy.
you guys all did really good on your cost. So you guys saw her pull the gun out and plugged your ears.
I'm absorbing
Which I
all the bad
couldn't
rolls
do,
tonight,
so I would
Tom.
probably take some hearing damage anyway.
Right.
actually.
What?
You're used to it, maybe. Okay. So the gun goes off. Ellis is running. Your bullet hits the egg, and there's a tremendous cracking sound, but it sounds like rock cracking, not egg cracking. And you can see there's a fissure now from where your bullet hit, and the egg is beginning to quiver and crack open. Ellis, you are running. Ellis, it's not that far back to the entrance. And as you get to the entrance and step out into the early evening, the sun is still, the sky is red. And so the fog is all kind of turned into this strange glowing red. You can see there are at least 20 of those slug things, and they are quite close now, maybe, less than a minute before they're going to get to the entrance to that hole. Margaret and Bobby, what do you do?
If I see that the shooting it didn't deter it, kill it, hamper it, I'm running.
Okay. Bobby?
I'm gonna take out my pocket knife just in case, and then I will run along with Margaret.
Okay. Margaret and Bobby, I would like you to do a spot hidden roll.
04.
38 pass.
Okay. So both of you run forward. You hear a cracking noise behind you. Margaret, you stop to look back. Bobby, you sort of look over her shoulder, and you see the shell starting to fall away. And there's something octopus-like, something with tentacles and stuff sort of birthing itself from the slime of this egg and writhing about. And you think that it's about to try and come out the tunnel as you are running. You burst forth from the tunnel, seeing Dr. Ellis standing there with these slug things all sort of around. What do you want to do?
Are there rocks that I could climb on top of, like near the entrance? Like climb over?
Yes, you could try to climb up the cliff, or you could try to go around. It's not impossible that you could just run in between these things. They don't seem to move very fast.
Let's just run past them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump and climb on top of like rock to rock,
Yeah.
or over.
Yep.
it.
Just
If
get out of
Ellis
here.
was just standing there, I'm like grabbing his arm and dragging him.
Okay. So you make your way, you're running back down towards the shore. You can see there are quite a few more of these yellow slug things. They're here and there. They're all sort of moving about. And that's when you come up over to where you can see the boat. And it seems to be listing to the side. As you get to the cliff, sort of the ledge overhanging the boat, you can see that there are these yellow slime things all over it, these slug creatures, and that they have damaged it and started to tear apart the wood of the boat. And they're dragging it away from the island. And that's when you hear what sounds like a god-awful explosion behind you. And you look back, and part of the mountainside is crumbled, and this thing is forcing its way out of the mountainside. What do you do?
Do we sanity check first?
Yeah, you can do your sanity check, but
Yeah, we're kind of beyond that at this point. Yeah.
Does it we're all fishermen. Does the boat look completely beyond repair? Like it's going down.
yeah, there's probably nothing you can do at this point.
Can we like hold on to like any flotsam or whatever? Any big?
You want
pieces
to try
of
jumping
wood?
in the water and grabbing
Yeah.
something that's
Yeah.
Swimming, boys.
Maybe some vessel will pass by eventually and find us. Yeah.
Do your sanity roll though.
Hope
See
you
if
got
you can-
points in swim.
12.
Keep it together.
And that is a
35. That's regular.
pass.
Fail.
Okay. Bobby, do a 1d12, and you guys
Oh,
can do a
Jesus.
1d8.
Well,
That's brutal. 1d12.
We never get to
Wow.
use a 1d12, so this is
Oh,
Oh.
7.
7. No.
3 on a
Oh,
D12.
Bobby.
Bound to
Bobby
madness,
gets to the
baby.
edge. He
Right.
does a swan dive into the
Right.
water, and he starts swimming. Margaret and Ellis do intelligence rolls.
God.
Although you probably know what's coming. You can see it.
Fail.
Passed.
Lucky.
Dr. Ellis, you just stand there for a moment thinking, this can't be happening. This can't be happening.
He should have
you're
married an
not.
educated man.
Margaret, you know that death has come for you and that it's in the form of a gigantic tentacled monster.
Then I'm
Um,
going to go to Dirk's body and just cuddle up, like hold him close and spend my last moments with him.
And there's a few moments where you're there, and the last thoughts you have are, geez, he feels like old leather. And this thing comes down the
Moisturize.
mountainside and just crushes you.
Welcome to the
rocks.
madness, Holly.
Dr. Ellis, you see Bobby swimming away. You see the boat going down and being torn apart by these things, and you're just barely keeping your sanity together. What do you want to do?
Can we say I picked up my medical bag on the way down?
Do a luck roll. We'll see if you didn't drop it while you were
You're
running.
gonna overdose yourself?
That's a
Can't
pass.
spend luck on luck. Oh, you
All right, you managed to you've kept that thing in your.
All right. Well, I'm a townie of Gravesport, and I'd like to say that people of Gravesport are fighters. So we're gonna go out with a bang. So I want to use the alcohol and my lighter in order to try and set this thing on
Okay.
fire before I go.
So it's rolling down the mountainside towards you. You fling your alcohol and light it on fire, and it snuffs you out like a candle in the wind.
Yep.
And you
Just-
are gone. Bobby,
still
you are
swimming.
swimming furiously. You're thinking, I can make it. I can swim 200 miles. I can get all the
I
way
do
back.
cardio.
And as you're swimming, you're getting tired, and suddenly something seems to grab a hold of one of your legs, and you look down into the water, and you can see that you've been grabbed by one of these yellow slug things. They seem to be able to swim pretty well. And then another one comes at you, and another, and you're
I'm gonna
pulled
stab-
into the water, and you
My pocket
become
knife.
a host for their babies, and that's the end of you. And that is the end of our story.
Excellent.
TPK.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever
No.
not had a TPK on this? Because I'm dying
No,
to know.
we've always
Leon
had a
Okay, I was like,
TPK.
oh, wait.
Oh yeah.
Looking for
Was that Cthulhu?
Mm-mm. What it was a star spawn of Cthulhu.
Ah.
Mhm, mhm.
That's just as bad.
Yeah, just as bad.
ND6 damage.
So the concept of this is that a little piece of a sunken island with a star spawn egg somehow pushes its way up to the surface. The deep ones had originally imprisoned the egg there and sealed it up with a key and with a door. And the yellow slug things were there to make sure that nobody opened the door. And
really bad
he opened
security.
the door.
yeah, really bad security.
Slow.
They're not very fast at it. But anyways, Dirk found the key. He found the island and he found the key.
I was about to say, was there an explanation for how Dirk, or is it just kind of like, well, he found
he
it while
fished it up or
fishing?
something.
He found it. He saw the door, but he was able to sort of resist it. And he came back. But when he came back, he thought, I've got to go back there and find out what's in there. And I'm not going to tell anyone. We're going to be rich. But this time when he got there, the slugs had kind of awakened and they were waiting for him and they got him and he got infected. Leon, you would have died anyway. So would you, Bobby, because once the stuff is in your system, it starts to use the water in your body to feed the eggs.
Yeah, I put it right up to my nose. Hey, I'm just glad I embraced it.
Well, yeah, did you get like possessed or something? Like with the glow, what happened there at the end for Leon?
I mean,
yeah, he was kind of fell under its spell once it.
No, but near the end, you said as life source left, something else came in, right?
Which part? The
Yeah,
whole
I thought
thing
you were
with
saying
the whole thing with Leon. No one's ever actually gone down there and touched the damn thing. So I just sort of started making stuff up from that point.
I mean, I was definitely insane, and from like Tom mentioning the like, I stitched. I was just embracing the madness and just like, I'm fucked. Let's just go all out and just be the,
I think the first time I ran it, whoever had that key in the first part, they open the door and they still have the key and they go down and they put the key in another lock and that wakes the thing up. I think I'd also had it where there was like a post coming out of the ground with a button on it and they push the button and it wakes the thing up. But this Leon, from the moment that you went like this, I was like,
you got me there.
That's so much more nasty than anything else. This is one of those one-page things.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
For one, I mean, Tom, this is wonderful. I'm glad this is going to be my first tabletop player death. It's one for the books.
We were talking the other night about games with TPKs. And there's not really much way around this one. I suppose you could have just taken Dirk's boat and gone back home and said,
yeah, but that's boring.
or not pick up the key. Maybe not pick up the key.
Maybe
like
not.
The thing about that is that, like, especially, in Call of Cthulhu, and especially with one shots, it's like, I like embracing the madness. I'm mostly a keeper when I run this game, but I am totally down for just losing my mind and just doing stupid shit.
The thing is that by the time you find the key and you find Dirk, the slugs have already got your boat. So you're kind of screwed.
Screwed either way. Yep.
Right.
Now I don't know if does the original have it? I think when we first played it too, you heard some odd noises coming from another part of the island. And if you had gone over there, what you would have found was a bunch of basically deep ones fucking. They would have been on the rocks having fun.
That would have been good.
That's any other questions or
No, that was really good.
we can
Awesome.
No, I had a lot of
Incredible.
fun. I like deep ones a lot. I think they're they're iconic and versatile.
Yeah, I like them a lot too. Our players included Sham Sabin, Billy Chung, Holly Buto, and Alex Sun, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.